the most, the biggest fan of. But when you're putting 6 teams through, this is the only way you can do it, really. I know other tournaments have done it before as well. Because it means that you don't, getting through to the second round and the upper bracket and then losing is still the same value as losing in the first round of the upper bracket, which is a little bit wonky, I think. But it does mean we get to see more teams play, which I'm always a big fan of. Especially in the playoff formats when, group stage tends to be a little bit more open, potentially, but, people have to bring their A game for the playoffs. So getting more teams through to it is always nice.
So, I was going to say, coming into this, they've banned out the Wisp, the DK. Venomancer is banned again. There he is. Top tier hero.
I assume this is something Aster played against them in other competitions as well. Vici, we just don't want to play against it. It was horrible. We're just going to ban it out now. I was wondering about what heroes would be banned out that were different to last time. And I'm pretty sure Vici have kept the same 4, but Aster have slammed in the Oracle instead. I can't remember what they banned out last time that was different, but I think it was Timbersaw, possibly.
No, I think the Timbersaw was banned later, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it got banned last, didn't it? You're right. So there's a lot of 5s taken out this time. There's Wisp, Oracle, and Shadow Demon, which means Grim and Lich are the 2 that are left. That both teams are probably looking at as our openers. And I think Ember still being in the pool. Oh yeah, Death Prophet, that was it. The hero that got banned out before by Aster. Okay.
Actually, Timber got ignored last game.
Oh.
Yeah,
so it was the game before.
It was Wisp, Veno, DK Coddle, and then Centaur, Death Prophet, Pango.
Yeah, so they've just swapped Oracle for Death Prophet on Vici now. Which makes sense, I guess. I mean, remember, they picked Mars Silencer last time, and I do not like that at all. I think especially with Shadow Demon being banned out, DP gains so much more value in the game. DP's so good against that hero. Shadow Demon's so good against DP because of that constant purge being applied. Oh, and they're going to get AA. Okay,
I'll take it.
Good hero against DP. So let's see what heroes they decide to pair up with the AA, though. Because, we've been seeing Legions. We've been seeing... I'm pretty sure Ember's been another one as well with the Frostblast setup from the chains. And we talked about how when you pick this AA hero, it's really important you draft around it. Because if you don't, the AA hero feels like super useless. So Raw's a decent one, and they have vision advantage now as well. I also really like Raw against DP. She's pretty susceptible in the early stages of the game to physical damage, because you tend to go for heals first, and she doesn't have a massively high HP pool or armor. It's in a big ult duration like Raw, she can just get dropped relatively quickly. I'm wondering if they want to pick some kind of save here on Vici. They might just go back for the Tusk again, to be honest. I don't mind that too much, especially because when Tusk rotates mid, you have so much kill potential between those 2 heroes.
Trying to see with this Death Prophet, you're going to need a save of some sort, and you get that with the Tusk. Yeah. I'd love to see Yang Tusk, that's for sure.
I think it's just such a... And like you say, they need a save, and it's something they're confident with. Yeah, they could pick Yang Tusk, but again, it's the flex value more than anything. I think PYW played really well on it last game, though. He did a fantastic job. His early game was a little bit rough because he has to lane with this Underlord, and they don't really do much together. Tusk wants to be taking part in kill lanes, but the fact that he went top forced the Silencers to come as well, and then that frees up the Morphling in the bot lane to just farm away. So his rotation makes sense. What do they go for here? On Aster now. I think Rubik sounds okay for them. Beastmaster Rubik's an okay lane. Something like Clinks I don't think is awful either. I don't know if they play that as a 4.
Yeah, we've seen Jinkyu on it a few times. then we saw Nothing to Say play at mid, right?
Yeah, we did, and there was somebody else that played it mid as well. Who it was, but I think they need like some kill potential heroes still. But my only problem is that it doesn't work well with AA. The Clinks, like the support duo, is just really weak. Then they might want something a little bit safer. Ember's still in the pool. I go for it as well, but it doesn't feel great against DP Tusk. And it kind of just leaves yourself susceptible to just getting something like Underlorded again. Who I think is one of the better heroes at dealing with Raw, where you just cast Dark Rift and just get somebody out straight away. I think this is a difficult one.
Ooh, Clockwork.
Okay. They have a really good tri-lane now, if anything. Like, AA Clockwork's a solid support duo. And it gives them good initiation as nice. It means that if the Beastmaster ever roars somebody, if the Clockwork can jump the Tusk at the same time, like he's not going to instantly be there with the save. So like the hero that one Beastmaster goes on somebody, they need another source of initiation, which the Clock does give them. What 5 do they want on Vici? Actually, I think Lich is still okay. If they can play Chen, I'm pretty sure they can, right? DY plays Chen?
I think I've seen it a couple times, but I would say you're probably better off with the Lich, right?
Lich is okay as well. I don't mind it. I think just in terms of, we saw what Chen can do against the Beastmaster once today, though. I mean, the heal's pretty sad because you're playing against AA, but you could just go like Pipe first instead if you really want it. Or Grimstroke's still in the pool if they want it. Yeah, okay, they do just go Grim. Fair enough. I think that's a safe option. They have Grim Tusk as well, which again is a really solid. This was like, I think what IG was it IG? No, it was CDEX. Sorry, that really liked this support duo, the Grimstroke Tusk. They were like first phasing it a lot as their opener. And they looked pretty good on it, even though they got knocked out eventually. I still think they didn't play too badly. I feel bad for CDEX because I think their group was a lot more difficult. I think if they'd have been placed in the group with LGD, RNG, and then Aster, I think them and Aster would have been a lot closer. Because I think Keen were a really weak 4th seed in this tournament. They were probably the weakest team by some way.
Yeah, it's a new roster for them, so unfortunately that's the way the cookie's going to for that team.
And so whereas, like, I would have quite liked to enjoy seeing CDEX in the playoffs, but, they had a bad couple of games in their group stage. And unfortunately, in a group as close as that, kind of spells your demise.
Yeah.
What about something like a Wraith King? Or a Knight? That sounds fun. Chaos Knight's awful.
Coming at me with a CK right now? Hey, you can get an awful hero to get picked up, just like I got the Venomancer.
True. Oh, I'm going to go Wraith King.
Ooh, Medusa.
Yes! We finally get to see it! I've been calling for this hero since a few days ago. That I didn't think it was that good, but I really wanted to see it get played. This is exciting. Over and over again. Yeah. And look at their lineup on Vici. It doesn't lane up too badly against the DP, which is nice. But look at the tempo of the game Vici are going to be playing. Aster are want this Dusa to have a little bit of room on the map to be able to get some farm. And I don't think she's going to get it given to her. I can't believe you were calling for stupid... We wanted to call stupid heroes, and I didn't say Dusa like last time. Man. So disappointing. I do like the Dusa Beastmaster combo, though, where when you get Stone Gaze off and somebody gets petrified, then the physical damage that comes through from the Beastmaster and the Dusa just piece it. So... and it's also like Beastmaster enables Medusa really well because you tend to build items that buff that Dusa up a lot, like the Crimsons and the Solar Crests and things. And they needed a hero that was going to win them the game on Aster. So I don't mind the Deucer. I worry that it doesn't play the tempo of game of Dota that is being played a lot of the time at the moment. Like you kind of want to play around that like 20-25 minute mark when you start fighting. You get your first item, or like two items by then, by minutes, which is what Nigma used to do a lot. Like they would go for like Manta Rapier, right, and they would just go. Where the fighting at the moment tends to happen at like the 10 to 15 minute mark, sometimes earlier, especially that level 6 mark mid. And Deucer doesn't really play that timing. So it has to need to pick some like mid/safe lane hero here that, again, bridges the gap. Something else we've talked about before.
Yeah. And then
we've been the like go-to team kind of hero. And it has a really good tournament as well. I'm pretty sure it's won every single game so far, Kunkka.
I think so too, but it's only been a part of like 4 games, right?
Yeah, it's like a really small amount. But it's looked really good every time it's been played. And so I'm surprised this Kunkka hasn't been valued more. The problem is it has really hard counters in the mid lane. So, like, you know, we used to see things like Razors, like TA's pretty good as well. Even things like Void Spirit, I think is pretty good against Kunkka. Talking about Void Spirit, I'd actually like to see them pick it up here, to be honest. I think it's a good game for it. Just play it off lane. Could even put the DP off lane if they wanted to as well.
Do you think they're just going to go to Yang off lane and pick up another support, though?
No, I think they'll play the DP mid. I think it's just such a solid hero. If they feel like there's something that does really well against the Deucer, maybe like a Monkey King or something that just runs at her constantly, then they might pick that. But, ooh, not what I expected.
Okay.
They knew what they wanted. Wow.
Yeah, that was very quick.
Mid. Yeah, it's Venge mid.
Wow.
Or carry, even. This is something that Mid1 did for OG the other day, and he said he thought that hero was really good. And I think when you line up as well, Venge is like the perfect carry. Like you look at Aster's lineup, it's very like, we're going to play around the Deucer. We have 2 cores that buff our Deucer up, and it's all about this hero. Like, this Deucer is going to be so strong, not only because of the Venge aura, like the attack range that comes with it as well. Like, they're going to build Solar Crest, they're going to build Crimson Guard, and they're going to try and hit this timing together and go. But I do worry that the laning stage is a little bit static on Aster, and I think that if Vici can make the right rotations early on, which they did very well last game, then they might struggle a little bit. But they do have like a Venge AA lane's decent. They could put the Clockwork there as well at the start of the game if they wanted. But I think Vici were by much the better team last game in terms of like skill level. I think if they can carry on that momentum from last game and keep the tempo up that they played before, they'll definitely be the favourites here.
Is this an Ags Terrorblade kind of game?
No. It's okay. It's not awful, but like,
I think it's kind of decent, right?
Like it's always okay. Like it's never bad, but like there's so many items you need here still. Like you want to be getting a like decent tough fly. I think is the big one for TB. I think he's probably going to end up going like Manta Butterfly because it's all physical damage on Aster, right? Like Venge, Deucer, Beastmaster, all 3 cores. It's all physical damage. So as long as they itemize correctly on Vici, I think they're fine, honestly. Like DP's probably going to go for Solar Crest. TB has naturally high armor anyway, but even so, it's a pretty good Scardy game as well for TB if he wants to go for it. And that reflection, by the way, when you cast it on Deucer, you also cast on Venge and Beastmaster, you get 3 auras for yourself. So I think TB's a super good pick here.
So here we go. On to game 2 between Vici and Aster. As I think towards the end of that call, the VMix all of a sudden came back and we were looking pretty good. You know, I was living life the way I wanted to the entire time at 1 FPS. And I enjoyed it. You know, but now on to the game. Jokes aside, SCCC on this Venge. Is this a good enough hero in the 1 position, or is this like he's not the primary core here? He's the support core for sure, right?
Yeah, he's
because
like
Sean is taking over with the Medusa.
Yeah, so he's like, even though he's technically playing safe lane, he's the pos 2 in terms of farm distribution.
Yeah.
And yeah, Deuce is definitely the one. But the thing is, like, if you look at Vici's heroes, they have really good heroes, like playing tempo and just invading the jungle early on. So I don't really see how they can stack well for this Deucer and expect her to be able to take it really quickly without Vici coming in and contesting. Like, they need to make sure they get deep wards down on Vici, especially on this ancient camp in the dire bot jungle. Because if Deuce is able to freely from the big camp next to it, her, like, especially stacks, her net worth goes up really quickly.
So, do you have faith in this Medusa right now? Like, I feel like the rest of the heroes, if they just get run over, like, they just go and get the Medusa as well.
The battle begins.
I have faith in the Deucer mid lane. They do fine. What I don't have faith in is their side lanes, because I don't think they can pressure this TB at all. And even if Deucer has a good game, I think as long as TB hits his item timings, he'll be absolutely fine. Fade's actually started with Cogs in the bottom lane, by the way, to try and bring the creep equilibrium back. Makes me think that maybe he's going to go to top lane relatively soon, like into the game, and just leave this Beastmaster to try and get whatever he can from the laning stage.
Would that move DY towards top then? Or is he going to stay here bottom? Because they're going to want to work with this first Metamorphosis, right? I mean, usually it's just strictly farming, but if you can get a kill out of it with DY here, you might as well try.
You can't really kill in this lane until you get level 2 anyway, when the meta comes out.
No.
But even then, like, you have the boars to slow down the Inksword target, so it's not a massive thing. Fade doing a really good job there on the clockwork. I don't know if you saw. You don't want to let the enemy support farm the cogs, so you make sure you deny them every time they get the first hit off onto the cog. Ooh. Wow, Clockwork has 11 denies already. 12. He's doing really well.
Must be killing the lane.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Deuce just had a really good start in the laning stage, though. Tron's actually taken some level 2 as well, which you don't normally see. Tend to give like that point in mana shield and then just hold the points in split shot. And he's always doing a really good job of dodging Snake, though, with Sleight of Fist at level 2. It's really nice.
Taking a look up towards top, though. Bobica and SCCC early on, you know, they're going to work with this Wave of Terror. Could go Magic Missile into the Cold Feet with the Chilling Touch when you start to get those levels on these heroes. Something that might be difficult to play around.
Yeah, the thing is, like, normally the stun into the Cold Feet would be really good, right? But this lane isn't strong enough. Like, if they do that, then I'm pretty sure the DP and the Tusk just turn on them straight away. Because they just don't have the damage output in the early stages as the Venge and the AA, even with their spells. Fade giving DY some love taps down in the bot lane. Like, I think at this level 3 mark especially, I think top lane's going to be... Oh, hang on, Bobica might be in a bit of trouble here.
Yes, there's a snowball coming through, as well as the Spirit Siphon. Bobica one more shot. Ooh! What a job there!
The tree.
Puts down the tree. Yang's now the one in trouble. SCCC gets the kill split with Bobica. Oh
Bobica
my.
God. I love it when somebody knows they've done a good play and they use the voice chat lines as well.
And then he
like,
eats
hell
that
yeah.
tree.
I'm a boss. The lane is going to be pushing in now towards the... Oh, it's not actually. Lane's even still.
Wow.
On top lane. Like, in terms of where the creep equilibrium is, sorry. And this Deuce and Beastmaster have both had a really good time in the laning stage, actually. I didn't think our Master would be having quite as much of a good time, but... Fade might be in a bit of trouble here, though.
Can he even get the kill? He's so fast.
Yeah, he's got boots first, so...
Woo! XSS. Just throwing those level 2 axes, and Fade's gonna come in to look for the ink. So this might stun up both of them. It'll get just Fade, who tries to play ultra aggressive there. That was ill-advised for sure.
Interesting, that one. Top lane, they're going on SCCC, but PYW went under the tower, unfortunately.
So he'll be dead.
Yeah,
Bobica getting the kill there.
He's going to pay the price. Oh, we almost cancelled SCCC salve there with the Crypt Swarm. Oh, he actually gets 2 points in the Vengeance Aura. Wow. So really valuing that attack range. And the extra little bit of primary attribute that comes through to help you last it.
A tool to
I mean, he's always going to go 1-4-4 this game. Like, you don't want to put more than 1 point in stun because your other two skills are so good at buffing up the Deucer in fights. And increasing her damage output. Look at this double ward mid, by the way. By Dire. He just put the second one down, and the other one still has a minute and a half left on it. Don't know about that.
SCC, Bobica continuing to just throw some harassment the way of Yang over towards bottom. Yours is doing well, 30 and 5. He's got that kill. They look over at XSS, a lot of damage being done with the Stroke of Fate, and nothing to follow it up with as that slow did hit, but still you could see where the connections kind of come together there for the Terrorblade as well as the Grimstroke. Grimstroke early just seems so great. And is this 5th level is a value point in Venom's Embrace, right?
No, I think you take Inkswell again, and you go and play with the Grimstroke top lane, with the DP. So, like, when your DP gets level 6, you have level 3 Inkswell. Tusk is level 4 as well, so he has the second point in tag team, and you just run at them. Like they did last game, where DY rotated top as well. They're going to go in SCC here, and DY's come in. This is go time.
Magic Missile, but the stun is there, so now Yang with the Spirit Siphon. They look over to get the kill on SCC, but he's freezing over thanks to the Cold Feet. However, great Snowball. And he holds it as long as possible, so that'll allow Yang to not freeze over thanks to the Cold Feet of Bobica.
Oh, or
good job by these 3 heroes.
They Fade stole the Invis Room bot, and I thought they were going to be able to kill Ember, but he's hit that level 6 now, almost 7, so he just jumps away. Look at the whole of the Radiant team, by the way. Their HP pool at the moment is quite spectacular. Raw bot lane.
Oh, XSS getting the kill on the Eurus, and that's what I was worried about. You make the rotation towards top, yes, you get the kill on SCCC, but it's giving up the life of Terrorblade almost immediately, right? And that's exactly how it comes out.
Well, normally in most Beastmaster games it wouldn't, but I love what XXS has done. He's actually maxing out Axis first instead of the Boars, which when you're playing against these like really low HP heroes is amazing because they changed the Axis from magical damage, and they absolutely rip through these Agi heroes in laning stage. Chuan's in trouble here on the Deucer.
Yeah, they've got him locked up with the Inkswell. Here comes Ori, and there goes the Medusa. And this is what we were talking about. If you can start to stampede the lanes, the side lanes, you know, how safe is the Medusa?
Yeah. The thing is, like, at this point in the game, as long as they're drawing even on Vici, they'll feel fine. But it's like, yeah, this 10 to 15 minute mark where they start to rampage around the map with this, like, 3 points in Inkswell, maybe 4 by that point, they're going to look really strong. And especially with Ember, this really maneuverable hero that can just rotate around the map and connect really easily.
I feel like they're even looking for it again. But they bring a +1, it's Fade. Gotta be careful going in on this. Fade, he'll completely turn this fight around, and now PYW able to survive past the battery assault, but will eventually fall. Inkswell commitment, and it gets the stun on a 2. They'll have the Spirit Siphon with the Crypt Swarm, getting the kill on SCCC, so this ends up being worth it for now. But if Yang ends up dead, it's definitely not as worth it, but gets 1, gets 2, now looking for a 3rd after the double kill. However, Bobica will get the finishing touch on both Yang and DY.
I actually don't think this is too bad, though, for Aster at all. Like, they still have the Venge Illusion last hit in lane, right? So, he's doing okay. And as long as the Deucer's not getting pressured and the Venge's getting pressured instead, that's like, Aster are so happy with that. That's all they would have hoped for. And there's a poor man's shield for the Deucer as well. Nice little bit of Agi.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So just about 9 minutes into the game, we take a look at the net worth. Medusa, despite the death, still leading the way. So Xuan back into the jungle, continuing to farm, trying to do what he can. And the Ember not sitting too far behind that. He's got 2 remnants available as well as a double damage. Ice Blast was thrown towards bottom. Hasn't made a move yet. And there's the Royal Jelly. So always a nice one to pick up. Throw that over on the Ember. Throw that over on himself. And it's a good little buff.
Iron Talon for the Deucer as well. It's going to be amazing for taking these Ancients.
No
And I can't believe they've just allowed them to freely take the Ancients down here without getting vision. Like, this is 101 Deucer gameplay, right? They shouldn't shock anybody. I feel like Ori... They really want to take this mid-tier 1 tower to open up the jungle, and that's why you see Yang coming in as well.
Behold, my searing
Here we go, Aster proceed. Still level 5.
There's the Exorcism. Ice Blast comes in. SCCC will die, but Yang, look at how much damage he's already taken. He's dead. That's not a great first Exorcism.
He has no armor because the Venge just wave of terrors him, and he's like... he just goes down to 3 armor, and then it will just click him, and he dies. It's simple as that. If you want to make this play with the Venge and the Ember, sorry, the DP and the Ember, you have to have more heroes there. Otherwise it just doesn't work. Because the thing is now you've used first Exorcism to get a Venge kill, but you didn't get anything else with it, right? Like, you want to be able to push that tower as well afterwards. So good positioning by Aster to realise they were going to be coming in, but... I feel like Vici not giving them the respect they deserve.
Yeah, I don't think the Venge kill is as value.
The Venge kill doesn't do anything. Like, Venge doesn't care that she's dying.
Yeah. He's the support core of this game. All they got to do is open up space for the Medusa, and then they'll be happy. And by losing SCCC, yes, he's losing his life, and he's sitting low here on the net worth. But he got his job done. They got the kill on the Death Prophet, and they'll take Death Prophet's life again with a hookshot over mid. So Yang, again, continually dying here. Now 4 and 4. And not only did SCCC help get that kill over mid onto the Death Prophet, but that was the first Exorcism was 5 seconds long.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a big deal.
I will say that Eurus is still having a good time on the TB as well. And we talked about how if he hits his item timings, then their game looks really good still. Because it's an amazing TB game. Like, this AoE Reflection gets you the Inner Beast Aura, the Vengeance Aura from Venge as well. And poor
should be able
Fade
to get
though.
the kill there. Yeah, Fade ends up dead. They've got it. Numbers.
Yeah, and then it also gives you the Deucer Illusion, which has Split Shot. So, like, if you can get a good reflection off in the fight, it's going to deal so much damage just by that spell.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, Eurus is not keeping up maybe as close as he would have liked, or you know, maybe we would have thought. But of course, that's also just the stacks being secured here for Aster.
Yeah,
they've made a bunch of stacks and they've secured them so well.
Yeah, and Deucer can farm Ancients as well, which TB can't really at this point in the game massively well. He's at the point now where he can, but like early on, Deucer just gets through those stacks so much quicker, like you say, whereas TB can't really farm Ancient stacks the same way. Not at the same rate, anyway.
Bobica getting a stack that almost went awry, as I believe a split shot went to this camp up here, and then with like 1 second left, Bobica re-pulled the camp and got it in to a stack. It's pretty impressive, but it's continuing to make those stacks for the Medusa. That's allowing her to stay this far ahead, up 1,200 net worth over the Terrorblade. But then you can see the big split that comes in when you've got you know, the mid who's doing okay, of the Ember and the Death Prophet compared to this Venge. So the net worth lead for Aster is basically just the Medusa.
Mm-hmm. They're going to smoke up here, by the way, on Vici's side. But Fade's in such a good position here, and he's probably going to end up breaking it, which is not the kill that Vici want at all.
If they get the kill.
Oh!
There's the hook shot away, and he is
Fade?
safe to run. They're not going to be able to catch him. It is hook shot down. Shards, ooh, maybe they can, but it's just PYW, and he can't go after that.
He had Walrus Punch, so maybe he could have, but it's so risky. And Vici really don't want to run up into that dire jungle high ground without vision. But they are upping the tempo here, and they've got the DD on TB, so he's just absolutely slapping towers to bits. I'm surprised they didn't try and go Roche with it, to be honest.
XSS? Sounds from Yang.
Look at Yang. He's so slow because of this ball.
Jesus.
This is where you sunder PYW. Oh, never mind. Just salves up
Gotta get lower
instead.
before you sunder him. Gotta be at like 2 health.
If you're gonna grief your teammate, do it really hard.
Yeah, exactly. So there's the man to finish off for the Medusa. Meanwhile, the Terrorblade, you know, he's still a little ways off of it. Needs this ulti orb, needs to catch up. So definitely Vici looking to maybe make some space there, especially after that smoke didn't work out in in their, the way that they were looking at for it to.
Look at this Beastmaster coming over smoke, though, along with Fade on the clockwork.
Eurus needs to be careful. Hookshot actually hits the Terrorblade. So Eurus, they're waiting for the Primal Roar. DY comes in, they get the kill on Yang. He'll use that Sunder immediately. The Soulbind is in, as well as the Silence, and they've used Stone Gaze, so not exactly the best fight, but they did get another kill onto the Death Prophet, making Yang 4-5-0. Not a game that he's enjoying.
This Deuce is owning. Like, she's so farmed now, actually. And they've played around the hero so well, and they've built a lineup around the hero that, because this Deuce has had a good start, like we said, it doesn't matter how good the Venge is done. Beastmaster's kind of a little bit more important, but because the Deuce has done so well, that they can just... They look so good at every fight at the moment. And I feel like Yang's start to the game, he's supposed to be the, the big scary core at this point, like the Yang played on the Underlord last game. But his early deaths have set him so far back.
And they really haven't used his Exorcism to get anything.
It's not even just the Exorcism, like the Spirit Siphon's really strong as well, but it's just not really done anything this game.
Already into the Necro 3. A CCC, meanwhile, he's gone Helmet of the Dominator. And then next will be the BKB. TB just about looking to finish off that Manta, but while that's happening, you've got Medusa who's going into the Butterfly. So we'll see what they're able to get. Ice Blast and Slight. Ice Blast goes over Ori. Hookshot through from Fade. The damage on DY to get the kill onto the Grimstroke. He'll Remnant away. So it's one kill there onto the Grimstroke and nothing more. But still, you can see how much and how easy it is for Aster to deter any kind of aggression from Vici at the moment.
I mean, Aster are just... They're reading the map so well. Like, they keep being ready to, like, counter-initiate to every single gank. And I love how this Venge's gone Helm with Dom has just got the attack speed tomato creep following Deucer everywhere. So she just farms even quicker now. It's not about how the Venge farms, it's about how the Deucer farms. So it's more important for it to be on her. So there's a Necro thing on Beastmaster, he's going to go Vlad's, and then probably Solar Crest, and I think they just look to go at that point on Aster, because that's going to be about the same point when, or at least the medallion on the Beastmaster, when Deucer has Butterfly. And I think they're going to be insanely, incredibly strong at that point.
Snowball on SCCC, Ori's going to join the fight, but Hookshot comes through and stuns up both these heroes. Now they've got the Primal Roar as the Ice Blast. Ori's dead to rights. I mean, this is such a good counter initiation coming through from Aster, and now Yang, he tries to join in, but just to die.
He has no armor.
No way
he
out.
Dies. Again, I hate to say it, but like DP's not a tanky hero if she doesn't get items. Like she has 1400 HP because of the double null, and she had strength treads on at the time with wand, but without any armor, this physical damage side just absolutely ripped through her. Like she needs a plate mail or something here. And they just into the Roche pit. This is absolutely perfect from Aster.
Instead choosing to go Aeon Disc. And there's the Aegis on the Xuan, and this is really falling out of favor for Vici fast.
Not really sure what the Aeon Disc is going to do, if she just die disc ends anyway.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Wave of Terror. Ori.
And here comes the Death Ball from Aster now, though. They've got the Alpha Ball from the Deucer now instead. And this is go time. Aegis Deucer almost has the Eagle Song online as well. We're just gonna... Oh, okay.
That's meta
I like that
committed
from
though.
Aster. Instead of trying to fight the Deucer, they try and make a play elsewhere on the map, and they should be able to trade towers here, or at least get a decent amount of damage on this tier 2. Deucer's gonna
come
TP
back.
in.
Question is, does Xuan do anything with this? PYW's nearby.
If they want to go on
so
it, they have to
go
do
on
it
the
now.
Medusa. Silence comes in. They've got the swap. SCCC also throws the magic missile out onto PYW, the Stone Gaze, and now chasing this Tusk, but can't go all too far. Meanwhile, Ori's taking a lot of damage off over towards top. We'll use that trusty shovel, and well, nothing of it. But back
If you want to get that
Deucer
Deucer kill,
tower.
if you want to get that Deucer kill, you have to kill her as soon as she TPs in. Otherwise, like the rest of the cavalry will just soon arrive. At which point, it's just not going to happen.
Not the worst engagement there, though. They get Stone Gaze out. They're able to take the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, they lose a tower, but they got one top as well. So it's like, it's an even trade, and Deuce is still just farming the whole time. She's about 1,200 gold off the butterfly now. And yeah, when that butterfly comes online, TB's going to really struggle to deal with her. Especially because he doesn't have quite have his own yet. He's actually changed to Skadi as well, just as I say that.
Yeah, he was on butterfly.
I honestly think you have to go butterfly, but the problem is you don't have a massive HP pool if you get that butterfly still. Like you're still going to be sitting at like 1,300, 1,400.
Never refuse.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And so the evasion like isn't effective enough HP
Dire's top
as
tower
the
is
Skadi
under
is.
attack.
Like raw HP is just going to be like effectively like the evasion's so much stronger when you have a large HP pool, right? Because then you've got more chance, you have a longer duration to miss for, because you have more HP to work with.
They're pressuring the top lane, and they're also trying to take this stack. They're looking to get some farm here on PYW as well as DY. Only phase boots for PYW, so it's a much slower blink dagger for this Tusk. You know, not finding himself to be as effective or have the availability to come in with the blink, walrus punch, snowball shards, like the whole shebang.
That just goes down to their early game though. Whereas last time Vici was like so on point, but this time they're the ones that are not in the driving seat anymore. So Tusk isn't be able to make those aggressive plays on the map like he did before, especially because Aster are just grouping up as 5 all the time now. Like there's no single pickoffs.
And so on the back, Ice Blast comes in. Bobica survives. Stroke of Fate through. Swap keeps Bobica alive for a moment, but they finally have the Slight to get the kill to also take out the Beastmaster. They lose the Grimstroke, so it's 2 for 1 so far. The buyback comes in from the Ancient Apparition. Look at Eurus starting to output a bit of damage, but Juan comes in with the Stone Gaze. Eurus, he's got the Sunder, and can he get it off? He will on a Juan, that's big!
It doesn't matter.
They kill off Fade, they'll get the kill there on the SCCC, but Eurus still taking damage. One more shot till he goes down, and from such a distance, won't get the kill, but 4 heroes gone on the side of Vici. It did cause the buyback. They did get a couple of kills there, but Juan is the boss. He's the raid boss in that situation.
She has Butterfly, and there's like this Venge Illusion still alive as well. So like, Juan just stands his ground and hits everybody, and with the Butterfly, they just don't have any damage. Like, TV gets a Sunder off, and he's like, oh my god, Deuce is really low. Maybe we'll get to kill her, but it's just not enough. And she has Aegis anyway. So like, even if you kill her the first time, it doesn't matter.
Had he killed her right there and then, they might have disengaged a little cleaner, though.
Yeah, possibly. But again, like this Butterfly timing from Chuan is just helps him so much, and he's so farmed. How many CS does he have actually? He has 310 in 22 minutes. That's like 40 CS a minute.
He's a full 83 ahead of Eurus.
Bounty.
But this hero farms so quickly.
Yeah, and the stacks that were made were so impressive.
But this is why I thought Vici would be invading the bottom half of the jungle rather than the top more. And they've done that thing where Aster did last game, where they kept running at the wrong core. Like they're running at the Venge top over and over, which just doesn't matter for Aster, instead of running at the Deucer over and over again and playing around the mid tier 1 instead. Because I understand them not wanting to play bot because of the Beastmaster, but you can play around this mid and push into the bottom position down.
Radiant's middle tower
Is the Skadi enough?
No, not on TB. He needs the Butterfly as well to be like really effective.
They'll have the Ags soon on the Ember too. Like we keep talking about the TB, but what about the Ags? I don't think this Aeon disc is going to make much of a difference here for the Death Prophet, but you're looking now with just the Ember and the TB, truthfully, and maybe the Blink Dagger for the Tusk, but he's so far from that and he's not even getting any farm.
I don't get the Aeon disc purchase at all. Like it helps you against the Raw and them just bursting you really quickly through like after the hook shot and stuff like that as well. But as soon as the Aeon disc ends, you're going to die anyway. I don't think it saves you at all. She has a little bit of armor from the Dragon Scale, which is nice, but...
and I will ask again, just because I am genuinely curious, and it's not just the fact that I, want to be annoying, but you go for the Butterfly, is Axe really viable? Because Medusa wants to keep running at you. That fear, I feel like, can be so fight-changing
If
after
TB
you pick
doesn't
up
go
this butterfly.
If TB doesn't go butterfly, they never kill the Dusa. It doesn't matter if she's
Well, no, I
running
mean
away.
after the butterfly.
Oh, after. I think he has to go for a damage item. Like I think he has to go MKB. Or like Rapier or something on the TB, because the butterfly and the Dusa as well. Remember, like he's not going to be hitting all the time,
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
and they have no real good physical. Like they've got that exorcism, and they've got this Ember just poking away constantly, but Dusa just stands their ground and carries on hitting buildings. Oh, good hookshot dodge on Ori with the sleight of fist, and then he dodged the roar by
Dire's
animation by
bottom
just
tower has fallen.
jumping away to his remnant.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And I really like Aster's positioning. They want to play this top side now, ready for when the Roche spawns. And Eurus is just really worried about pushing this bot lane because he doesn't see all the rest of the Aster heroes. Yeah, so they scan as well just to see if anybody's TPing to the tier 3. But Aster's, yeah, Eurus is just going to leave because he sees the Dusi TPing in now. And Dusa has Satanic, like, I don't know. When Dusa has Rapier, I don't think they're ever going to kill her. I don't know how they kill her at the moment, but when the Rapier comes out, she's actually going to do, like, insane amounts of damage as well.
Yeah.
I think this hero's been stepped on, honestly, like Dusa. I think if you can build a lineup around it, it's insanely strong. And that's why I've been calling for it for some of the last few days. But, I mean, I didn't expect it to do quite this well.
Eurus continuing to try and farm. He's got just enough, or just short of the Eagle Song, which will leave him needing still 2,275 more gold. This is, gonna be the butterfly. We'll see then Dusa. I would say the game plan as
Hookshot mid.
Hookshot was used.
Dire's top tower is
It was on
under
Ori.
attack.
I think he just jumped away. Couldn't get the follow-up in time.
So the game plan's got to be get the Divine Rapier, get Roche, finish.
Yeah, it's literally... This game is so ABC for what Aster have to do, right?
Dire's top tower is under
Like, we get the
attack.
Dusa farmed,
Dire's top
we
tower
build the
has
right
fallen.
items, we get the first Roche, because we have Beastmaster as well, it's so easy. Then you say, like, you wait towards the second Roche for when you can go high ground. Dusa hits, like, this massive point at the same time. Just 860 PM on the Dusa. Jesus. Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was lagging out on Dota for a second. That was all. I was like, oh my god, my internet's not dropping, is it? Turns out it's just Dota. Never mind.
Now, if Vici can get their hands on this Aegis, that would completely turn the game, right? Because you're not as comfortable maybe going for the Divine Rapier.
I don't know how Vici ever fight into Aster at the moment, though. Like, TB's going to have Butterfly soon, which is really nice. And he actually has Paladin Sword, which is going to help him massively. But,
It's just got to be the timings that work out for him, because they're pressuring over mid, and they want to pressure and then go for Roche. Long hook shot on the PYW. And he'll survive for a little bit longer, but, of course, can't manipulate himself with the shards.
unfortunate. And there's a DD bot. Okay, time for Roche, guys. Less than 2,000 gold to the Rapier now as well, so this Butterfly timing on the TB is not going to mean anything anymore. Like, especially if they get this Aegis as well.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
I love them have been using their couriers really well to scout the pit, by the way.
I think that started with IG as well.
Tran's just
Tran's
sitting in the
locked in
pit.
here.
Like,
You need to find a way into this. Soulbind comes in, Exorcism used, Snowball shows
the
up
stone
short, but the
gauge,
Cogs
though.
push him in! Aegis is picked up, and PYW will end up dead.
oh, they got
Now
the roar.
Primal Roar. Uh-oh. Ori in trouble. Sight and Ice Blast hitting. XSS gets the kill there onto the Ember. So two there,
Sick.
as well as the Aegis.
Sick play by XXS. He just camps the Remnant on the back, knowing that Ember's going to want to jump out the pit and just instantly roars him. It's They drop the cheese as well. I don't know why they're not just giving it to the Dusa. I feel like she's the only one that should be using it. Like, especially after that Age Ascends. Maybe they feel like she's not going to die more than once anyway. And she is 50 gold off the Rapier. And this is going to be it.
So easy pickup. And ready to go.
They're pinging the Dusa. They're like, oh. Shiza. At least we got Butterfly on TB. Oh. Never mind. True strike.
Oh, gosh.
And look at the attack range as well because of the Venge. This is what I mean about building a lineup around the Dusa. At least they have the reflection, so Dusa can kill herself.
Radiant's top tower
Takes the tower. Of course, we'll have the Satanic. We'll have the second life with the Aegis. Hook shot all the way in on the Yang. And now let's see what they're able to accomplish. Snowball comes through. They're doing a lot of damage to the Clockwork, but POW just dies.
She you have to remember she has Aegis still here as well. And this is like through a repair kit. Watch how quick the Ranger Axe dies.
Radiant's top barracks are under
3,
attack.
4, 5, 6, 7.
5 and a tiny bit.
Has fallen.
I think that was. Might have been 6 and a tiny bit.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But those are with split. Eurus swap. Primal Roar. Ice Blast. That's got to be GG. He's dead for 70 seconds. Doesn't have buyback. Yeah, just like that. Aster, such a clean game.
Radiant's middle tower.
Yeah, it's so sick from Aster actually. Like I thought Vici were going to be able to play the tempo game, but it doesn't matter what you think if they then play those first few fights so badly and Dusa goes completely untouched. Like we said, Venge doesn't matter this game. Dusa farms the ancient stacks. She gets whatever she wants the whole game. I think she died once at the start, right? And that was, I'm pretty sure that was it.
Yeah.
And they just played so well there, Aster. They were always like defending their mid lane where the Dusa was, and Vici kept slamming their heads into a brick wall and trying to kill them over and over again around that area. And Aster were just there every single time. So if they didn't get their pick off on Vici to then get the numbers of fight, it was so hard for them to ever then go for more. And Yang on this DP felt super underwhelming. I really would have liked them to have put it mid and put the